Hello everyone, welcome back to WellSome. This is our season 2 and I cannot wait to introduce you our next guest. But first, I am Viky and together we're going to dive deep into real conversation about wellness and personal growth. So in today's episode, I have the pleasure to have with me Georgina Daisy. Hi.
Hi,
How are
honey.
you?
I'm great.
By the
thank
way,
you.
congratulations because today is your anniversary.
It is.
You're officially 10 years in Dubai.
Whole decade in the desert.
How
Yeah.
does it how does it feel?
It's pretty wild, to be honest.
Yeah.
I spent last night literally, knee deep in the phone, and I went through I had 18,000 photos and videos just from Dubai on the map of the
Yeah.
phone. Oh my God, there was some tears shed, laughter, rewatching everything. I've been
Yeah.
about, 700 different versions. And Dubai does, right? It pushes you, it makes you grow, it chews you up, it spits you out, you rebuild,
Absolutely.
you up, down. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But, I wouldn't be here with you right now,
Yeah.
genuinely, without it.
Yeah.
And, where I've got in my life. So I have so much to thank it for.
Amazing. I love that. I feel it in myself as well. So I totally understand you. So today, why Georgina is on the podcast? First of all, Georgina is a certified nutritionist and personal trainer, and she specializes in supporting women in their own hormone journey because she's a PCOS specialist and founder of PCOS Party. First of all, the name is insane. PCOS Party is all we need.
Exactly.
And the reason why I asked her to come in the podcast is because I feel that a lot of women has been experiencing symptoms or they have PCOS issues, but I also understood that a lot of them, they don't know exactly what PCOS is, or they have been diagnosed incorrectly, or there's a lot of buzz around this word. So I called the expert, and today we're gonna have a full episode so you know exactly the issues, the symptoms, where does it come from, and everything that you need to know about PCOS and how to navigate it. So, Georgina, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you, hon. Can't wait to dive in. I love
Yeah.
nothing more than
we are ready
dissecting
to
this.
yap.
Yeah.
So first of all, Georgina, I want to know a little bit about your story and how you got into nutrition, wellness, and especially PCOS, because I had the feeling that you have a story.
I do have a story.
Yeah.
The one thing I would say is women out there with PCOS, I just want to start the episode and say, you are not alone and you are not broken, okay? Our female bodies are machines. They are
Yeah.
our homes, and as long as you have ovaries, hormones, a uterus, and a womb, you can thrive,
Yes.
right? You just got to understand how
yes.
to work with your body.
Yeah.
So I had PCOS myself very badly. I had all the symptoms, you name it. It was always the bigger friend. Even though I was doing all the exercise and hardly ever eating, I had skin rashes and sort of acne. I had the big moon, very round face, which is a sign of inflammation, excess hair growth, and then obviously the mental side of things that people don't speak about enough. But that is a huge thing that I do still carry, I think, now. I went through lots of eating disorders and low self-esteem, low confidence, anxiety, depression. There's a whole host, okay?
Yeah.
I actually was diagnosed when I was 16 because I lost my periods for a couple of years.
Okay.
And then I basically went on a 10, 15 year roller coaster of a journey of the first bit was obviously going to all the GPs, being let down every time, told to just go home and lose weight, put on pills. I was on birth control for a good 10 years. I tried the implant, I tried everything, which, we can get into that later.
Yeah.
But ladies, that is absolutely not a solution for PCOS. All it does is suppresses your hormones. And if you don't treat the root cause and you come off it, especially if you want to have babies or whatever it may be, it may lead you with even more complications and that your symptoms will come back with a vengeance.
Amen.
So please, your body does not need birth control.
Yeah.
I do believe personally that it is one of the worst things that was ever put out for women on the market.
Yeah. I agree.
So I guess through that journey, I'm not a quitter. I come from a very sort of sport obsessed, male masculated family. And I didn't want to take, no from the doctors really. So I became obsessed with nutrition. I went to Leeds Uni and studied biochemistry and nutrition. And then from there really moved to Dubai. And it was a long journey figuring out, I'll be honest,
definitely.
because it was a lot of trial and error on myself. It was a lot of heads in books and research and But majority of it, and this is why I think I am able to get the results now for the women and do what I do, is because, you know, I am I don't want to say this, like the walking solution in a way, right?
Yeah.
I've done the work. I've been in the worst position, which I'm sure many of the listeners will be in and feel it. And I've come out the other side. You know, I always say, would you go to a business coach who doesn't own a business?
Of course.
No, right? So, you know.
Of course.
So, yeah. And then basically I moved to Dubai for the first 4 years, where I went straight into sort of an events job, very chaos and lots of fun. But I knew that wasn't my calling, right? I knew that I could do more and I've always been a helper, pleaser, empath. I went to Bali for a year, found myself.
Nice.
As they always say.
It's great love. Yeah.
Didn't find myself, but I healed myself. You know, I
Nice.
really went on a good year of just me focusing on it. And I completely reversed PCOS, got all my hormones back to where they are, cycles regulated, ovulation, everything.
So girls, it is possible.
Of course it's possible. And I then just used that time there really to work, to realize, you know, digital creators, nomads, online businesses. And I just felt I needed to build something. And I started this PCOS party in my garden in lockdown, posting the first Instagram story. And I literally have winged it since then.
Nice.
And here we are 5 years later where, you know, I've helped over probably 10,000 women, all with various different symptoms, not just PCOS, by the way, guys, you know, because remember, we are all females with hormones. And if you do have symptoms, they are signals from your body that something's not right, right? So I'm very personalized with what I do now. And, you know, it's not really a one size fits all in some cases. You know, yes, there's a general protocol that we should all be following. And of course you're going to see improvements, but it can be very different on a scale of, you know, what women are experiencing.
Yeah, because there's by individuality, no? So what fits me maybe cannot fit you. And so I can imagine that you have like a protocol, but then you adjust based on the client that you have in front of you.
100%. You know, and this is what annoys me so much is when, you know, women are going to GPs and they are obviously, their job is to prescribe pills. Guys, it is a business. I'm going to keep saying that. You know, pharma world is a huge money-making business. Yeah. You get 10 minutes with them and they literally say, hi, have the pill, right? Like, no, you are not a like 1 in 1 out spreadsheet person. Like, you are a female human being with lots of issues and things running through the body. You need a much more in-depth, deep dive into you, right? Like my onboarding call is an hour long because I've got to, you know, really get deep and like figure out all of your past history, your triggers, your symptoms. Like, there's so much that goes into it. It's not just a, hi, have the pill, off you go.
Yeah. I'm glad that you say that because now, especially nowadays, there's a lot of, I mean, now wellness is booming, no? Mm-hmm. And I feel we can finally see the light at the end of the tunnel because I see a lot of women, but a lot of men as well with other issues that they go to the doctor, they prescribe the pill, and that's it. Guys, this is not the solution because you need to take care of your overall health, physically, mentally, your environment and everything. Exactly. So I'm glad that you're pointing this out.
Yeah, it's so important in every way.
Yeah. For the women that they don't know exactly the term and everything, what is exactly PCOS?
Sure. So it stands for polycystic ovarian syndrome. However, it was given the wrong name.
Oh, I want to hear that.
Yeah, which, I mean, immediately kicks it off, right? It's hilarious. Like, it's one of the most misunderstood sort of diagnosed leading issues, even though it is the leading cause of infertility. So it is a metabolic disorder. It's a chronic inflammatory condition.
Yeah.
But the reason why, and I want to stress this, guys, when part of the diagnosis they give you is that you get an ultrasound on your ovaries and you should have sort of what they look like black pearls that coat the ovaries. Now, cystic in the name would make you think cysts, right?
Yes.
They're not cysts.
Okay.
They are actually immature follicles where your eggs have not been released because you don't ovulate in PCOS, really. That's because there's lack of ovulation because you've got irregular periods. So what happens is those sort of follicles coat your ovary outline, right?
Yeah.
But they are harmless. They don't really impact the condition as such. Whereas if you had a cyst, they can be quite dangerous, right? Especially if they grow, they can rupture.
Yeah.
But I really want to stress, it's not your fault. I think it was a man, who gave the name. It should be polyfollicular, but it's polycystic. Anyway. Okay. And then from that, as I said, leading cause of infertility. And it's basically diagnosed there's 2 out of these 3 ways that if you went to the GP by tradition.
Yeah.
The first one is if you have lack of periods or irregular periods, okay? The second one would be they would do your blood test, and if you have high androgen, so you'd have high testosterone. And then the third one would be, as I said, the ultrasound, and they would see the sort of the follicles there.
Yeah.
However, where it gets complicated is you don't necessarily have to have the follicles to still have polycystic symptoms.
Yeah.
Okay, because obviously if you have high testosterone, that's more of the male kind of symptoms. So like the hair growth that you'll get, the hair loss sometimes, the acne, a lot of the skin issues come from elevated testosterone levels. Actually, one reason why I think I've always had a bit of a deeper, huskier voice is because I used to have quite high testosterone.
Testosterone, yeah.
So that's like how you officially get diagnosed. But again, ladies, I want to stress, if you are feeling any of these symptoms, and I can list them off, you know, the struggling with weight is a huge one, which we can tap on. Skin, acne, hair growth, hair loss, really low energy. Okay, that's a big one. Chronic fatigue can be, you know, very, very difficult. If your sleep is all over the place, mood swings, sugar cravings through the roof, twitchy eyes. I'm trying to think of like really weird ones that you might not think about. A lot of the weight will come around your midriff because this is more of where your insulin will store, because a big part of PCOS is insulin resistance.
Yeah.
And then again, you know, things like just generally, if you're feeling a bit shitty, girls, it's not necessarily your fault, right? That it's every symptom, every signal, every thing that you're feeling. If you're not feeling every day happy and thriving and like you're full of energy like I am, I get up and I literally throw myself out of bed now, whereas before I never did.
Yeah.
It's your body telling you, hi, something is wrong.
Yeah.
You know, like I need your help here.
Yeah.
All the signals, you've got to think of your body like it is your home. It's the only thing you can rely on for the rest of your life. So she will communicate with you the whole time. You
Absolutely.
know?
Yeah. So how did you find out for yourself?
When I was diagnosed, it's because, well, my cycles completely stopped. And I was quite young, you know. I was like, I think I started my periods when I was like 12.
Yeah.
And then from 14 to 16, they stopped. But my biggest thing was my energy, lack of. I remember that. And I was at an all-girls school. So I always kind of felt different from my friends. I always struggled with my weight. It was the biggest one. I mean, I played lacrosse for Junior England. I was like very, very sporty.
Yeah.
But still just, you know, the bigger one. I always had to do more. I was the one that was waking up at 5 a.m. before school going to do a 5K, which now I know, by the way, does not help PCOS. But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then that unfortunately did lead to a lot of eating disorders for me because, you know, I would starve myself just to try and be the smaller friend. And, you know, it's a big dark side, I think, with PCOS and what that can lead to in terms of disordered eating and thinking, you know, they tell you online to cut out carbs and cut out sugar and la 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 la. And like that then obviously sends you in a complete spiral because you feel like you literally can't eat anything but cardboard.
Yeah. You know why I'm also glad that we're having this episode? Because online, especially now that the wellness trend is booming, there's a lot of rumors and buzz around, you know, any type of diets or any type of disorders or whatever that you might know. And there are a lot of listeners and a lot of the young girls that probably they watch some videos and they think, oh, I should starve to look like this. I should. Or maybe it's just, oh, maybe I'm overeating, when actually, guys, girls in this case, can be that you're really, really suffering from hormone disbalances and PCOS and everything. So I want to invite the girls to actually check what's going on, because like starving and just do extreme things is not helping, is actually reversing.
It would just honestly, like, I wish I could almost go back and give little G like a big hug, you know, because it's just so awful, the diet culture and social media and sort of what it then influences us, you know, and like it's breaking my heart at the moment that I really did think we were in this stage of body positivity, and then suddenly with, unfortunately, Ozempic and Mounjaro, you know, I'm seeing literally 12-year-old girls on TikTok like showing their ribs.
Yeah.
And it's suddenly come back in this skinny obsession. And I'm like, how is this health? This is not health in any way, shape, or form. Like, so it's a big something I'm really very passionate on, because you know, and once you sort of understand with PCOS, like this is a lifestyle change, right? I always say in the party, like the word diet is banned. Diet screams temporary, you know, it screams, we're going to do this diet for 3-4 weeks and then you're going to go back to your old ways.
And let's be honest, it's not sustainable.
That's what I mean. But it's not sustainable. So no one sticks to it, right? How many of you, I'm sure, have probably started, I'm going to start on Monday.
Yeah.
I'm going to start on Monday, right? And then you get a plan and it's really restrictive and you do it and then you get bored or you don't see your results quick enough. So then you go and have a binge or you go back to it and you go, oh, fuck it, I'm just going to go back to it.
And can we talk about the guilt also behind it?
Yeah, massive. Right?
Massive, yeah.
So I really do believe that, you know, I have completely healed my relationship with food now. You don't want to see any foods as like bad or the enemy. Because I used to literally look at bread and be like, oh my God, I'm going to get fat.
Yeah.
Whereas now I have bread every single day, you know? And it's just like, once you see it as a lifestyle and you change your mindset and you work a lot on this, a lot on the mind, right?
Yeah.
Then it just all falls into place.
Yeah.
And like, it is a lifestyle, you know? I always say, like, I still have to do a lot of my hacks and everything that I teach to this day, every day.
Yeah.
Or yes, I'm sure my symptoms would come back, right?
Yeah.
But it's not rocket science. You can find the balance. You can still have fun. And it's giving yourself, you know, almost what I call it, but a little bit of yummy every day.
Yeah.
You know, and it's the timings and just once you just invest in yourself, and it doesn't have to be your whole life, right? Couple of months, I get my girls, they come with me, we get them on one of my programs. You know, I'm such a hands-on coach because I get it. Us female, we need females and we need support and someone holding your hand, right? And I think that's why I am so passionate about it, because when I went through it, I didn't have that.
Yeah.
You know, I was so alone in my journey. I mean, I had 3 brothers, you know, a dad, even I say the word period and he like freaks out, you know, it's one of them, right? So yeah, like this is a lifestyle change and it's about building consistent habits that, you know, then once you build the habits and they become part of your like day-to-day life, you don't even think about it.
No, because it's part of your
daily
life,
you
routine,
know?
Yeah.
Exactly. And that's it, right? You've got to, guys, stop restricting and stop going on these stupid fad diets because they're going to get you nowhere. You're literally wasting your money, your emotional freaking health, your mental health. And how many times do you want to keep, you know, fluctuating 5 kg, 10 kg, up, down, up, down? It's okay to fluctuate a little bit. I always say that.
Yeah.
I fluctuate. I go on holiday, you know, you have the best time.
Of course.
That's life and that's fun, you know?
Yeah.
And I think, again, when I think back on my really dark PCOS days, you know, I went down the really psycho controlled route. I was doing 1,000 sit-ups a night. You know, I wouldn't touch anything unless it was literally chicken and broccoli. I mean, there's a huge chunk of my life where I just had no fun. Yeah. I had no fun. I was never, my friends literally thought, who the hell is this miserable git? You know, I wasn't invited to things anymore.
Yeah.
You know, and that's not a way to live, right?
Yeah. And also another thing, by the way, thank you so much for pointing this out, because there is another very, very interesting topic that I want to touch base with you. And you just mentioned is that sometimes when you have a specific disease or you have specific issues or just conditions like PCOS, or in my case, gut, because when I realized that I had gut intolerances and food intolerances, I was literally so worried to touch every single food. And I became so boring and so lame because I was so paranoid about everything. And my mental health was all over the place.
Yeah. Do you know what, though? I really think as well, and we can touch on this, but stress is the silent killer for every condition, I believe now. And actually, when you are so in your head about it and you're so stressed about it, that gut connection is there, right? We know it is. And that's also going to then do flare-ups and whatnot. And another thing that I see I've literally had some incredible miracle stories. I've had clients, right, who have come to me who have, you know, been trying for baby for a couple of years and they're doing everything right? They've cut out all form of processed foods, no alcohol, no smoking, no nothing, no whatever. Like, they're perfect on paper. Still can't have a baby, right? I go, you know what? Go on holiday. I want you to drink. I want you to have fun, let it go, connect again with your partner, because you're probably just like banging now for the sake of it and you've lost all form of like connection there.
Yeah.
They come back and they're pregnant.
Yeah.
I've honestly seen it a million times. And I think a huge part of the healing that we don't talk about enough, and this summer was a big thing for me actually, like, you know, I'm still human and I'm trying to do all of this for the women, but my body still has its own triggers. And I think through all the years with stress and fight or flight and a very toxic breakup and whatnot, I know my nervous system is very sensitive. Yeah. So this summer, I basically did the split sober and pulled my hamstring. And I think it was the sign from the universe to be like, right, G, slow down.
Slow down, yeah.
And all I did this summer was I just literally had the best freaking time, you know? I still had my
Love
habits,
that.
but I walked, I swam, I've hardly gymmed, I hardly did any of the normal training that I usually do. And wow, did my body feel better. My ADHD calmed down, my brain was better, my sleep was amazing. I felt like whole, you know, and full. And my cycles have been regular pretty much the whole time, but obviously in moments of life when you are more stressed, it can mess it up.
Yeah.
The whole through the summer, completely perfect, like clockwork.
Yeah.
You know, and that I really do believe a huge part of that is because connection, community, slowing down, being in nature, you know, jumping in the sea every day, laughing, two-stepping to music, you know, dancing is a huge part of that as well.
Girls, sometimes you just need to have fun.
And literally, it's as simple as that. We're here one time, so go and have bloody fun.
Oh, yeah. I love that.
It's a party every
It's
time.
It's a party. So I have another question for you that I swear, I think 95% of my friends and my clients as well, they're under birth control. And
Wow,
honestly,
95%.
yes,
I really upset.
that's really high actually. And I've never been under birth control because I am against it.
Good.
I want to
glad
know.
we can agree.
I want to know why also you don't recommend it.
Okay, so literally, the pill was made to stop women getting pregnant. Okay, now that might seem really rosy on the outside, right? Because, oh great, we can have sex whenever we want and we don't need to worry about it. Like, why do you think we have a menstrual cycle, right? It's part of our makeup, it's our anatomy. It means so much more than just a bleed, right?
Absolutely.
Ovulation is the peak. It's the middle part, but it's the most important part. It's not the bleed itself, it's when you ovulate to release that egg to inevitably reproduce, okay?
Yeah.
So what the birth control does is it stops that ovulation. And if you're on it for a significantly long period of time, it basically puts all of your hormones to sleep, okay?
Yeah.
So again, that is messing with fundamentally who you are as a person, because our hormones are our chemical messengers, right? They make up every single day. Right now, it's making up my moods, you know, what's going on in my brain, but also like obviously our fertility and our sexual stuff. Like it is you. And if you are put on this pill and it flattens everything down, like you're just never going to feel like yourself.
Yeah.
Honestly, you're not. And funnily enough, I've had clients as well who have come off, and it changes so much of your like makeup and whatever, to the point that it actually affects like your smell and who you're attracted to. So I've had clients who then suddenly are not attracted to their freaking husbands.
Wait.
Seriously?
Wait a second. So rewind and tell me more about it, because this is so interesting.
Yeah, like it affects. I'm not the most science, like I can't tell you exactly why, but because it's messing with so many of your hormones and it's like shutting everything down. It is almost not genetically changing, but it's modifying parts of your body and like your chemicals and stuff, and the balances in there. So, you know, it alters your smell. It can alter who you're attracted to. You know, there's another thing with like ovulation. I don't know if you've heard of this, but men are actually more attracted to women who are ovulating.
I heard of that, but please tell me more.
Yeah, so like if you guys are ovulating, you know your cycles, which I hope you all do. There is something called the ovulation glow.
Yeah.
And next time, ladies, if you're ovulating, just see when you're out and about, because I always feel it. I'm like, oh, he's into me. Oh, I'm getting it. Like I'm getting the vibes, you know? And they can, like subconsciously, they can almost like smell if a woman is ovulating.
Yeah.
It's pretty wild.
You know, I read a study once that said that when we're in our ovulation moment, we are actually attracted more to the bad guy, because it gives us like this thrill we're flirting here. Nice.
Yeah, it does. And then when you're like crying just before your period, you're like, I just want the nice guy.
I just want to cuddle, I just want the golden retriever.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, not the black cat.
Yeah.
I love that.
But like you know, and the other big thing that I really want to stress is obviously everyone is different. And I want to stress that here as well. You know, some people love birth control. It's your body. You do what you want. I'm just here to give you the education, the facts, you know. But a big part, you know, my journey when I was on it for 10 plus years, not only did I get told falsely by 3 doctors that I would never get pregnant, which is a huge myth, by the way. If any doctor tells you because you've got PCOS you can't get pregnant, tell them to get in the bin and run. run out of that clinic as far as you can, because that is so far from the truth. And it upsets me so much this is still being told. Because when I was told it, I thought, you know, my world was bloody over. I remember being in Dubai with my first boyfriend, and I literally went to Barasti, bring back Barasti, back in the day. And I was just like, after work, just crying in his arms, just being like, why would anyone want to be with me if I can't have kids?
Oh my God.
Do you know what I mean? Like, how awful is that for some
So
doctor
how
thinking
awful for a woman to hear you're never gonna have babies.
When it's complete and utter bullshit. Of course I can have kids. Like, but this is the world, unfortunately, we're living in, and it upsets me that, you know, the education and the lack of the help that I got 20 years ago is really still the same. It's still the same protocol. There's still the same pills. Like, nothing. Why are doctors not taught about nutrition? It drives me mental. I feel like I'm banging my head against the wall every day. That it's a huge pandemic that we're living in, of these women suffering so much. And I just find it insane. Like, you know, why they're not. But sorry, tangent, ADHD. Back to birth control. What can happen is when you have been on it for so long, right? Imagine literally being put to sleep for 10 years. Yeah. It's going to take you a long time to wake up, right? Yeah. So after, when I learned everything and I came off all meds, it took me just under 2 years to get my first natural bleed.
Okay, so here I want to stop you because I want to know exactly what you did the moment you stopped the birth control. What happened and what do you do?
Okay, well, so what I know from my own journey, and this is the whole trial and error, right? Yeah. And this is why now I can help women so much faster than I help myself, okay? Yeah. Because it is so imperative when you come off the pill that you need to support your body with the right nutrients and a supplement or two to get that ovulation and your cycles back quicker. And that's the most, okay, we'll dive into the solutions now and stuff. Okay, the most important thing is balancing your blood sugars. Now, if you have TikToked and Instagrammed this, you've probably seen people talk about it, and I'm just going to explain why. So, you've obviously got a million different hormones, but there are sort of 4 main ones that I educate my clients onto understanding. They all work together. They're like a little family, okay? But insulin, she is like your big mama. She is your main hormone, the number one hun that runs the crew. Yeah. And if she's not happy, the rest of them aren't happy. Yeah. Okay? She also communicates as well to your ovaries, okay? And sends signals and whatever else. Yeah. So a lot of people, many people, not just PCOS, but 80% of women PCOS do have insulin resistance. Insulin resistance, in a nutshell, is the pre-stage before you then go to pre-diabetes and diabetes type 2. Obviously, we want to prevent any of that happening. Yeah. But the reason why it's so huge in this day is because we are all eating a very heavily or much higher carb, sugar, processed focused meals. Foods, okay? And it's not just a little bit here and there. It's like, let's say in the morning, you are starting your day on a quick croissant and a coffee from Starbucks. You're on the go. We're grabbing that. Lunch, we're grabbing a pasta. We might have a cookie at 11 o'clock. 4 p.m, you get that lull. Let's get some caffeine in there again, and maybe another cookie from the jar. And then dinner, because you're tired, you want to order something. So it's like a pizza or chicken or chips or like whatever it is.
And then all of a sudden you're sugar addicted.
Well, exactly. Yeah. But this is basically what I call, it's a big vicious cycle. Yeah. And you're doing this more than not. Yeah. What then happens is all of that, your carbohydrates are converted into glucose, okay? Insulin is like the locking key. She comes out, grabs the glucose for energy, pulls it into your muscles for fuel. Yeah. Okay, so that's why we can move and jump and do other fun things. Yeah. When over time you are consistently eating all of this carbs and sugars and blah, 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 your insulin can't keep up basically. It's making so much of it. Yeah. That it basically starts being resistant and it can't actually pull in that glucose into your muscles for you to use. Yeah. So then what happens? You become very tired because obviously there's not energy for us to use. There's a lot of it just left in your bloodstream and doesn't really have anywhere to go. So insulin is the fat storage molecule. It does then start to store it, especially in the lower range. But then this also leads to the sugar cravings because they're left in your bloodstream. Then you're again reaching, and because you've got no energy, because insulin's not working properly, right? You're consistently reaching for the carbs.
Of course, because you need the energy boost.
Well, yeah, you think you do, yeah. But actually, what is the biggest thing here is when we understand to focus more on protein and whole foods and pairing your carbohydrates so you keep that insulin nice and flat throughout the day, right? then everything gets better. She is your main thing. If we, rather than this, what I just described, the blood sugar roller coaster, if you keep her like this throughout the day, this will also, she then sends signals to testosterone. He then wants to come down. Your cortisol gets a bit calmer. Your ovaries are feeling a bit safer.
Yeah.
Everything calms. Everything improves. So, immediately start your morning, girls, 30 grams of protein. I cannot stress that enough.
Yeah.
Your insulin needs to kick off in a good way. It doesn't need to go straight. Because you wake up when you're fasted, you don't want to put straight in there some not crisp. I don't know, you might eat crisp for breakfast.
Yes.
Please don't. But if you're having cereal or a croissant and it's literally just pure carb, that's going to do a big blood sugar spike.
Yeah.
If you have protein with it, so eggs, smoked salmon if you can, like bacon if you like it, it's fine. Go for some bacon medallions. Maybe some tuna. Obviously, I've said eggs, haven't I? Yeah.
Yes.
Eggs is the main one. But even things like, having some gluten-free oats with some vegan protein powder and some almond milk, mix that, have that as an overnight oats, fine. Sorry, gluten-free, not gluten.
Yes.
There's protein pancakes if you want to make those. Like, there's plenty of options. And you can still have some carb with that. Have a bit of toast, sure.
Yeah.
But it's just really trying to start number one on savory and try and get that 30 grams of protein in. And if you're on the go, just invest in some good protein powder. And we always go vegan, by the way, because vegan takes out the dairy, which reduces inflammation.
And bloating.
Yeah, and everything. And also vegan will tend to use sweeteners, and sweeteners don't spike your insulin.
Yeah.
So
definitely.
Yeah.
For example, if let's say I have the feeling that I have PCOS, but I don't know exactly how to get tested.
Mm-hmm.
How do you spot PCOS?
From all the symptoms that I kind of mentioned, like it's it is the struggling to lose weight. It's if you do have any form of skin issues going on, like, and it's not just sort of hormonal acne, right?
Yeah.
It can be like rosacea, psoriasis, eczema, all of this.
Yeah.
The energy is a big one. Like I always see people are really just struggling to sort of get out of bed in the morning, just do anything. But that also can be very much linked with your diet, of course, like that what I just described. Like all these symptoms are linked to your diet.
Yeah.
I really truly believe that.
Yeah.
And like, if I think back when a big contributor, I'm sure, when I was very overweight, my biggest was 99 kilos. I lost over 30 kilos now. And
wow.
Yeah, like it's something I still have to work at every day, and I won't, I move way more than a lot of my friends, and it is hard. I totally understand more than anyone how difficult it is with PCOS for weight. I will always forever struggle. You know what I mean? But I think you have to flip the switch a little bit and just like work with it, not against it. Work with your body. Yeah. Because it's not the end of the world. And then there is that side as well where you have to work on loving yourself and self-love and body positivity and all of that. Because, that's been a huge part of my journey of just acceptance and like accepting that I'm never going to be stick thin. And my body doesn't want to be stick thin. Like I'm a 5'8". Big curvy kind of girl. Yeah. Not big, wrong word, but you know what I mean? I'm athletic.
No, I know what you mean. I know what you mean because before wellness, I was in fashion. And in fashion, there are a lot of like body shaming, toxicity around. Not only you need to be fit, you need to be skinny as hell.
I know.
And I was a stylist. I was not even like I cannot imagine the pressure models have to be super skinny and to fit into that specific size.
But again, is that health? No, no, it's not health. It's insane to me. It's insane to me.
And I swear, I was not eating anything. I was just under veggies all the time, no carbs, no proteins, no anything, just veggies. And I was just like working and hustling, and I was so miserable. And then after our conversation right now, it just came into my mind that sometimes when we see a girl who's maybe more curvy than the normal girls that we see on social media, we have the tendency to just say, oh yeah, but she just need to stop eating because she's eating too much.
We've got to stop that.
We need to stop that because, girls, sometimes people like they're struggling a lot with their weight because they have hormone issues and they're fighters for this.
Literally fighters.
So PCOS, we need to be kinder within ourselves.
And that's why I will forever keep, I'm so passionate about what I'm doing and this purpose, because my Lord, 10, 15 years of my life, you know, was almost taken by this condition.
Yeah.
And I let it defeat me. But I'm so here to tell you that you, like, if you see the life that I live now and like how I feel and like what I'm able to accomplish, you know, it is possible. And I'm so grateful that I almost went through my journey now to now come out the other side to be able to help other women.
Yeah.
My goal now is just to try and reach as many, and doing things like this, right? The more that we can reach and work together.
Absolutely.
And spread the message. Like it's a, you know, wild world out there, as we know. And especially now with the pharma world and the likes of Ozempic. I don't think we have time to get onto that right now.
Oh my
I
God.
could be here for, I'll be here for days.
We're gonna roll our eyes, and this is the episode 2.
Yeah. The one thing I would say, actually, if anyone is on it, because I feel like majority of Dubai is, your body is not broken, and it might be even more broken after this. So, and please consider all your options. Like there's a reason why, you know, the bad studies, they're all hidden. Okay. It's a huge business. You know, they're being sued for $2 billion. There's a lawsuit because it's making people go blind. Would you risk your eyes? I mean, I find it mental just to feel skinny.
It is mental.
You know? And yeah, sure, people are saying, oh, it's deleted the food noise and they feel great and la la la. You have no idea what's going to happen in 5 years' time. Like, for me, it's just so scary. And I just feel like it's the mental side of things that people are not talking about. And I am getting now girls DMing me going, I wish I listened to you. I've piled on all the weight again. Like, I feel really weak because it strips your body of 40% muscle, man. Yeah. Like, what is it, all this thing with this quick fix? I just feel it's so sad that we're still living in this world where like people are so obsessed with like how they look like and this pressure. And it's like,
especially us women. I mean, I don't want to demonize men because I'm sure even like some guys, they feel a lot of pressure, even from different sides. But damn, us women, the pressure we feel like about be skinny and be perfect and fit. Oh my freaking God. But this fucks our mental health so much. And when we're mentally stressed, this is what happens. PCOS, gut problems, and this and that.
I know. And I think it's so sad, isn't it? Like, I will say, like, there isn't a day, and I don't think forever there will not be a day that goes by where I don't think about my weight or what I look like. Yeah. And I'm pretty sure every female in this world could say that. Yeah. You know? Definitely. And it's just so crazy to me. Yeah. And like, apparently one of the reasons why also, obviously social media, but it's because mirrors. Because we live in a world now where there are so many mirrors. We're seeing ourselves like, it's like 300 times more than people did 100 years ago. True. And that's obviously contributing because we pick ourselves apart and we're like, oh, we need this, we need that. Like, you know, and then add Dubai into the mix when everyone's gorgeous and, you know, it's.
You want to keep up, yeah.
Yeah, it's just so tough.
Yeah. Talking about stress, how does stress can impact PCOS?
So glad we got onto this. Okay. Because again, I see majority of with all my clients, Dubai is the biggest place I see this issue. Yeah. Okay, stress. Very simply, stress, cortisol. Cortisol is your stress hormone. There is only one in the body that has the same response to all the stresses in your life, okay? So our little bodies, our beautiful bodies, we have come into this world where in Dubai, we have got boss babes everywhere, right? We are hungry, we are fighters, we are entrepreneurs, and it is a beautiful place to help you do that. You're connecting all the time, but it is a go-getter, fast-paced lifestyle. Then we're also having kids, maybe a toxic relationship thrown in there because there's many around, as we know. Like getting in the car, crazy workouts, social life, like it doesn't stop here, right? So what's happening is we have now got 1,000,001 stressors coming out our body the whole time. Our body is jumping quite quickly into fight or flight. You might not even realize you're in it, but it is. Yeah. And what then happens with stress? Very simply, think about it. Your body has 2 jobs in life, okay? To reproduce and keep you alive. If your body and cortisol is high and it feels like you are stressed, it will stop ovulation because you are not safe enough to have a baby. Yeah. Simple as that. Yeah. Right? So all these women, I'm doing everything right. And I'm like, okay, so talk to me about your life. They are waking up at 4 a.m. to get in a HIIT workout or something before they then up with the kids, straight into an office environment, not eating till midday because they forget, having black coffee. Again, coffee as well can contribute to that as well. If you are doing this more times than not and regularly, and you're only doing like one facial every Sunday, but majority of the time you are stressed.
Yeah.
Like, no, girls, we got to calm this down. And also, this is coming from someone who went through it real bad. You know, you have to take a really good, significant amount of time off certain things and change your morning routine, a big one, because when you wake up in the morning, your cortisol's at its highest, right? Aim of the game, get it to 0 so you can sleep nice and everything's good. If you wake up in the morning and you're straight onto phone, emails, kids, crazy workouts, blah, 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 it gives it no time to come down, right?
Yeah.
So if there's one thing, all my stress honeys out there on the go achievers, we love you, but try and just change your morning routine a bit. No black coffee first thing, no crazy workout fasted. Go on a walk, do some yoga, see sunlight into your face. It helps bring that cortisol down, okay? No ice baths first thing. I love them, but save them for later. And get that protein in. Put your hormones fasting is long term is not good for hormones.
Yeah. Also there are so many trends right now, carnivore diets and fasting and this and that. Girls, and I'm sure Georgina is completely, you agree with me.
Yeah.
Come on, like, what is this? We are stressing ourselves out for the sake of trends. Can we please just stop?
Also, like, there's a reason why there's 3 macros. Our bodies need them.
Yeah.
We need fats. Please don't demonize fats. Fats are literally our fuel for our hormones and for our brain, right?
Yeah.
Carbs is our fuel for our energy. And then protein is obviously for our muscles. We need all 3.
Yeah.
Yes, protein, we need to focus on more for PCOS. We need to follow more of a lower GI carbohydrate controlled diet. We need to pair it all together. But just, it's not rocket science. And this is what I just wish, I want to scream from the rooftop sometimes, you know? Like, just give your body as many whole unprocessed foods. So if you know where it comes from, that's what I mean from the fish, the meat, the land, the sea. Wait, I just said that wrong. The sea, the land, and the animal.
Yeah.
You know, if you can, like a salmon fillet is a salmon fillet.
Yeah.
Right? But then like a protein bar, yes, okay. If you really need one, you're on the go. I'd rather you get that than a big bag of Cheetos.
Yeah.
But look what's in the protein bar. Do you know half of those ingredients? Probably not.
Yeah.
So just try and limit it, you know? PCOS, a big part of PCOS is inflammation, okay? It's a big inflammatory condition. It doesn't like an inflammatory environment. So what can we control that we can help reduce inflammation? What we put in our mouth.
Yeah.
Not saying you need to completely cut gluten and dairy. Again, it's not one size fits all, but if you can give it a go for 30 days, I always recommend cut it out, see how you feel.
Yeah.
I guarantee you, if you've got a round face like me, your face will drop, your energy will improve, your sleep will improve, your skin will clear. Yeah. I've seen the most incredible stories with gluten.
Yeah.
Dairy we won't go into, but
yeah,
that
I know that because I'm off gluten and dairy since 10 years.
Yeah, I mean, your skin's insane.
Because of that.
Yeah, same.
Because of
you
that.
should see my face. Actually, girls, if you want to see the before and afters of me, I always laugh. My Instagram is It's a PCOS
Please
Party.
tell us if you want to know, because I want to see, actually. We need to, show the girls your glow up.
Yes, we do. We actually do. Okay, will you be able to do that?
That's inspiring.
Yeah. Well, I'll link it. We'll link it somewhere.
We'll link it somewhere, maybe on Instagram.
Yeah.
So, Georgina, is there any, because, sometimes behind all the health issues, there's maybe like an emotional background or baggage that we carry. Is there like a hidden consequence that we don't consider when it comes to PCOS?
Yeah, so this is a lot of work that I've actually been doing the past year, because I'm big in self-development, always just, want to understand who I am, what I am, all the triggers, I love it. And a big part of PCOS that I have been learning recently is trauma and your childhood and actually how, because there isn't really, everyone says, how do you get PCOS? And there isn't really it's from this, right? There's lots of factors that can play into it. It can come at sort of different ages of your life, depending, like you can get post-pill PCOS, insulin-resistant PCOS. There's factors, right? But the trauma side of things, so for someone like myself, my childhood was very much, I basically was brought up like a boy. I had 3 brothers. I had a dad who, and I love them, by the way. I'm very lucky with my childhood, but I was thrown on rugby pitch, skis, and it is showing any sign of weakness was like a failure.
So you were very, very into your masculinity, I would say.
Yeah, very in my masculine energy, all of that. I always remember, you know, any time that I felt that lump coming when I was crying, I'd have to put it back down. I suppressed basically all my emotions because I never felt I was in a safe space to ever express them.
Yeah.
And not because it's not my family's fault. It's just I was around boys the whole time.
Yeah.
You know. Then I went to a girls' boarding school, which, you know, you can say, oh, but you're with girls, but because no one else had PCOS, I had no one to talk about it with. I had no support from anyone. My mum, the doctors,
and you were
nothing,
so young.
so young. So I really just like had to carry so much of that on my own. And, you know, what I've basically learned is all about suppressing emotions. And it was actually, I had a bit of therapy after I had a breakup a couple of years ago. And it was really, really interesting. As she said, you know, I can feel you're storing a lot of trauma around sort of your womb and your area. And she said, I'm going to ask you a question. You're not really a person to ever sort of get angry, are you? Or sort of, you know, show a weaker side. And I was like, no, I really struggle with it. Like I do, I pride myself in sort of being quite hold my head up high, let's agree amicably, walk away. I'm not a shouter, I'm not an angry, I'm not a screamer, no drama. I can't be bothered, you know?
Yeah.
But she basically said, you know, when you went through this breakup, like, you know, was there, surely there must have been, because I can feel it in your body. So there's been, you know, he really hurt you. He cheated on me. There's lots of things going on. And she said, did you ever, you know, scream or like let this out? I was like, no. And she was like, I can feel this.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of these, if we store, you know, these emotions that we don't let out. She actually made me lie there and basically scream for like an hour.
Wow.
And I was like on my back and it was something completely surreal. I felt things leaving my body. I'm not that spiritual, but this kind of changed my life a bit. You know, and now I'm a huge believer that anytime I feel that emotion coming, you let it out, cry and cry and cry. You know, if you feel that lump, cry. It is a way of your body. Actually crying actually lowers cortisol in a big way. It's a big release and relief. And that, coming back to your question, is I do believe may have had such a contributor, and to my ADHD as well, is all of these sort of like traumatic events over time where I never felt safe enough to be able to express.
Yeah,
that probably all makes a bit of sense.
No, it makes sense. Actually, I wanted to say, after what you said, girls, cry and just express yourself, because otherwise you're gonna get sick.
Yeah,
right?
That's it. You're gonna get sick.
Yeah,
completely. And I do think that had a big contributor. And I've been reading a lot about it. And
By the way, I'm so impressed about your journey, and I'm so happy that I invite you on the podcast.
Thank
so first
you.
of all, you should be proud of yourself, because you know, like going into this journey with yourself and your symptoms, when you don't have support, it's difficult. And I felt that when I had my food intolerances 10 years ago. I'm Italian, so the fact that gluten, like when you go to Italy, it's like, what is gluten?
Yeah,
like,
what I will say, is this is really important. So when it comes, like, this is where Dubai and everything's processed, and we have to really be careful, because obviously we're not saying go away and eat all the gluten-free cookies, because they're still processed.
Yeah.
But in the summer, like I spend a month in Spain, and, you know, I don't react to anything there, but I think it's all made different, because it's like Italy, like obviously it's good sourdough and like it's all pure ingredients.
Yeah.
Do you have it there when you go?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and you probably don't react.
No. I mean, I ate gluten by mistake once in Spain as well.
Okay.
Didn't have any symptoms. I ate gluten by mistake both here and when I was in Asia. Oof.
Yeah, oof.
3 months to get rid of it. 3 months to get rid of it. Was insane. But yeah, like environment matters.
Yeah, it
a
really
lot.
does. It really does.
So now, last but not least question, I want to ask you, if the girls want support because they feel they're struggling with PCOS, or maybe they might have the feeling that one of the symptoms that you list, they have it.
Yeah.
Like, how can you support them?
Yeah. So I very, very much work with one-to-one coaching, because as I said, when I went through it, I wish there was someone that held my hand, right?
Yeah.
I'm a very hands-on coach, and like I am proof of the pudding. As I said, you won't go to a business coach if they don't have a business.
Yes.
So please, ladies, be careful who you go to, do your research, you know, make sure that they do have a story, and they do, because don't go to a bloody male PT if you've got hormone issues. I'm sorry, but males just like, sure, they can learn books and they can understand it, but they will not feel your pain, right? They don't feel your empathy. They haven't been there.
I feel so too, yeah.
Sorry, all the male PTs, love you.
We love you.
Yeah,
we love you guys,
Well,
but
we'll stare at you.
Sometimes we
sure.
need some
I need
female
a woman.
energy around. Yeah.
But I also have an app that I built.
Nice.
And that is called CGD, Coach Georgina Daisy. And that was literally built to be able to help more women at a more reasonable price, where we build you personalized nutrition and fitness plans, but it's specific to symptoms as well. So it can hurt. You can basically pick whether you want it to be fertility focused, energy, skin. They all do weight loss or build muscle and strength.
Nice.
And it's, when I say jam-packed, it's jam-packed. Like I spent 2 years building this and I don't do things half-heartedly.
How can you be part of the PCOS party?
Well, you can literally put, so I'm mainly at the most active on Instagram. So it's a PCOS party. I'm trying to get up on there on TikTok, guys. So if you can follow me on TikTok, I'd love you. I do actually post more on TikTok because I feel like it's become my diary. I don't even understand how it works. I'm just like, oh, let's just hope for the best.
Yeah.
And then my website, again, it's PCOS Party. You can book a free discovery with me, call there if you are interested to work with me. And then my app is coachgeorgiedaisy.com. And if you want to just get started immediately, go and suss me out, have a little look. There's coaching videos on there. There's like over 1,000 recipes. Like, it's really packed. It's subscription based. So it's like, I think it's like 50 dirham a month or something. And you can give that a go with no sort of contract or commitment, and then, see how you go. And if you love it, great. And if you don't, sorry.
What is it? Sorry, but
but
yeah. So what's your wellness tip? A wellness tip that you cannot live without?
Oh God, honestly, and I'm
can
gonna
be
say
mentally as well.
I am a Libra as well, but
I thought you were a Sagittarius for a moment.
No, I'm Libra. My birthday's in a month. Yeah, a month. Right? I preach it. Get the balance. Get the balance, and that will stop you from restricting. That will stop you from going down, disordered eating, feeling the guilt, feeling the shame. Like, allow yourself a little bit of yummy every day. And I say that, like, for me, Haribo is my thing. I love sweets.
Yeah.
They are my favorite thing ever, ever, ever.
Yeah.
But if I reckon eating disorder days, I would restrict and not give me any for the whole week. And the weekend, what do? Eat like 7 packets.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Every day now, I give myself, it's my favorite thing. It's my little happiness, my little joy. After I've had my good protein, nourishing, fueled lunch, I go and buy like a little, the Mawam, like little square things. I get one of those, or I get a little bag of the kids' Haribo that I have in the fridge. Just my treat.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Do I binge? No.
Yeah.
I get my little hit. It's my enjoyment. It's my pleasure every day. And that to me is balance, right?
Yes.
You can have 80-20, aim for that. 80% nourishing, good hormone, healthy vibes. 20% is your fun girls, right? It's that Prosecco, it's that pizza, it's that Haribo.
Yeah.
It's like going and having, your wild fun nights and doing it for the plot.
Yes.
That is such a huge part of healing.
Yeah. So girls, again, take care of yourself, have fun, and don't forget to follow Georgina in her own journey. Thank you so much for being here.
So welcome.
It was a lovely episode. And let us know if you want a round 2, because we have a lot of things to talk about.
Yeah, loads. Not just PCOS. I am actually considering in the new year a bit of a rebrand as well. PCOS has always been my baby and forever will be.
Yeah.
But I just feel like there's so much more.
Yes.
I feel like women just think, oh, I don't have PCOS, so she's not going to be able to help me. And I'm like, no, girls, like,
yes,
trust me here. Like, you have hormones. Everyone has hormones. You've got issues. Like, I'm your girl. Come to me.
Yeah. Make sure to follow her. Make sure, guys, to subscribe, because then we can grow and we can bring to the podcast more people like Georgina, which are so inspiring. And thank you so much for watching. I'm going to see you in the next episodes.
Bye.